revisit some questions here. Hey, Maxim, LRCX for long. I just looked at LRCX. I like it for long. The volume's not great today, as with anything, but it's a decent intraday type trade. It's a little extended, but not terribly extended off the 8. The 8's at 166.70, and it's at 175. So about $9, and the ATR on it is about 6. So 6 or 7. So it's not overly extended. It's a nice setup in LRCX. Yep, nice one. Hey Simon, Moderna's still going strong. Guessing we need a nice pullback to get long this one, but a great long swing thus far. Thank you. Yeah, I had an intraday trade or an overnight trade last week. I can't remember. It is getting a little extended. It's a pretty nice move here. Again, 35.64, the next resistance level. Pfizer, you see, is lagging. Moderna is way stronger than Moderna than Pfizer right now. Yeah, it's a nice setup. It's a little extended for me, but that's a nice look. You took it intraday last week with me. Yeah, it worked nice last week. Again, I don't really have as of last week or the last few weeks, I don't have a lot of confidence in swing trades because the market's been just all over the place, and hard to get something to give you 2 or 3 days of moving in your direction. And if it doesn't, if you have a flat day or a down day against you, it strips off a lot of the premium. So we're not getting, for swing trading right now, it's not a very good environment. As I've been saying for quite a long time. All right. Just look for some more stocks. Hey, George. Watching CoreWeave and Coin. Thank you. Yeah, Coin is pulling back just a bit from this move up this morning. All the big cryptos gapped up a little bit this morning. CoreWeave, very volatile stock, by the way, CoreWeave, which is up this morning about almost 4%. It's tough to trade on the options because it moves a lot, and the options are pretty expensive. But it's a decent long setup right now. But it has resistance at 88.86, which is pretty close to where we are right now. About $2 or so on CoreWeave, because this thing moves a lot. But there it is right there. Big move up this morning and just chopping around right now. Chewy's been pretty weak too, but it's getting close to a support level on Chewy. GC2000 a little slow to react. I've got this support level right down here in Chewy, 31.16, about 80 cents to the downside. Pretty weak today, but nothing I'm going to touch. It's a biotech day, Ari says. Yeah, the biotechs are running wild. Still in this Miss Pharmaceuticals, which is really just kind of lagging here. Down today about 3%, still sitting just above $2. IWM, again, IWM with relative strength to the market. It's the strongest of the indexes right now. Curious if I've tried Trade Machine to pick options. No, I've never heard of Trade Machine, George. There's a lot of them out there, I know, for picking options, but no. I'm not sure what criteria it looks for to pick options. Typically, I just look for first of all stock first, market first actually, market first, then the stock, then the option, looking at the strike prices and the expiration dates, and I just, I do that in my own head. ALDX continues with very strong momentum. Thank you, Harry. ALDX. Yep, still moving up pretty nicely here. It's trading at 572, up about 15% today. It's pretty wild candles on this one, but it's moving up pretty nicely, and it's trying to break out a little bit. I assume you got to take stock on this on ALDX. Yep, take stock in ALDX. It's a nice move in ALDX. Again, IWM outperforming the SPY and the Qs right now. SPY right back down to the 8 and the 15. This momentum has gotten a little bit weak. It's still pretty high, but it's drifting down. All right. George, a trade machine. What is it used for criteria to find options? Is it just look at you? I don't know there's a lot of different ways to look at those things, and a lot of them will tell you. But you've got to know the stock first of all, because you can't just trade off of things that look like good options. If it tells you like if they're close to intrinsic value, that's a useful piece of information. But how close they are to intrinsic value is also going to depend on how volatile they are. Typically, the ones with close to intrinsic value are not very volatile. So, quite a few criteria that you need to be aware of. But there's quite a few programs out there that do that kind of stuff. I never heard of Trade Machine.
When you first log into Trade Machine, you land on the Today tab. But I'm not going to start here. I'm going to end here. I'll come back in a few minutes. The backtesting engine lives on the backtest tab, and let me show you how powerful it is. Let's say I wanted to try the simplest idea. I just wanted to find a good strategy for Apple. So I'll type in the ticker, and I'll say, let's test getting long a call. So call and long and over the last 3 years. Easy enough. And we see while the return has been huge, of course it has. Megatech has been in a bull market. But look at the win rate, 37.5%. That means you're losing 5 out of 8 trades, or only winning 3 out of 8. And if you click on the details, you'll see that the average trade is 26%. How can we do better than that while avoiding losing 5 out of every 8 trades? It turns out there is a way. If you look at Apple in very small windows of risk, in particular, just before earnings, not taking an earnings speculation.
Goes ASTS again. Moving up. Nike moving down. Relative strength, relative weakness is continuing to be effective here right now today. IONQ moving up. Just getting above the 50-day moving average here on the daily. Hey George, yeah, I'll check it out. I've used some of these things. Whoops. Hey George, I'll check it out on that trade machine. But you know, to me, my technical setups on the stock is the most important thing, and then I choose the options based on that. I mean, they're probably looking at historical information on how how this in the monies work, how out of the monies work over a period of time on different stocks at different times, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't get into that very much. I'm looking for just technical setups. I mean, there is a good reason to take a look at stocks that rally before earnings or fall before earnings and that kind of thing. But I don't want to add too much additional stuff to what I do right now because I've got it honed in really quick, really well for myself. Like I say, my 85 to 90% winner, it's pretty hard to improve on that very much. All right, let's keep looking here. It's about 5 minutes to 12. You know Trade Machine, Joe? Okay, thanks. Uses historical data to predict best strikes to trade. Yeah, I've seen some of those before. Would Telray count as a catalyst to the put side? I mean, it might. I mean, it does have it is gapping down versus a gapping up market. But look where it's sitting, right between the 8 and the 15. It doesn't have any. It's got to break below this 15 to have any downside, and you certainly wouldn't want to touch it to the upside right now. So, technically, it's not a good trade to take just because of the fact that it's on support. Hey, Sacklin, I had a good weekend. Yep, I hope you did too. ASTS 500%. Joe's in there smacking out these, I assume, butterflies. Hey George, I appreciate the information on Trade Machine. Again, if it's doing stuff with historical data on how particular options worked on a particular stock at a particular point in time or over a period of time, um, I kind of lump that in with the strategies that look at seasonality. I mean, I've looked at and tried to trade seasonality stuff before. I've looked at most of these things before, and I don't really give them much credence, to tell you the truth, because you're trying to make a prediction of something because of the way it's worked before, uh, based on a particular option strike price, or where it is, what the delta is on it, or how that stock trades during a specific period of time, between October 30th and December 15th or something like that. And I just don't see, I just don't, I have not been, I haven't seen any value in it beyond what I've got now. It doesn't really help me any. I mean, in seasonalities, I've looked at those things and they say, oh, this stock, 90% of the time between October 15th and December 1st, this stock is up 90% of the time, it's profitable. But you go back and look at it and you find out they're talking about a stock that's profitable, and you find out that the option, went up a nickel, or the stock went up 2 or 3, 4, 5 cents. It happens to be higher than it was on October 15th and November 1st. But you're not going to make any money on those kind of situations. It has to be something that has a much bigger percentage move to justify it, and they don't look at that. They don't look at what percentage the gain was over those period of times. It's either seasonality worked or it didn't work, but it doesn't work for the trader if it's not a big enough move, because you've got a 4, 5, 6 weeks of time you're trying to decay. So I never really had any confidence in any of those, and I've tried them all. And I've tried a lot of option programs to select this best strategy. They'll tell you where you should take credit spreads, debit spreads, etc. on any, or just straight puts, straight calls. And I think for somebody who's maybe learning options, it's a help. But I don't think that it would be something that I could use. But I certainly appreciate the information on it. Joe over in the Discord room is familiar with it as well. By moving up here, if you can get Joe's Discord room, he says you can see him in the Discord live. He can tell all the good and bad about it based on trying it. Apparently Joe's used it before. I've tried a bunch of ones, not that particular one, but I've tried other ones before. But it's been a few years since I've looked at any of those things, because I never really, I never ever was able to quantify them to be any kind of it didn't help my win rate at all, or my profitability. $12, right on the nose here. Again, short week this week. We got Wednesday, the market closes at 1 o'clock. Christmas on Thursday. Friday, the market's open. But I don't know how many people are going to be trading it. Likely to be a very slow day. And then next week is New Year's, which leaves me in an odd position to try to put on swing trades, because with such a slow market this week and next week, I'm hesitant to put on anything from a swing basis, just because it's likely to be very little volume, very little action. And what does that mean to me for an option? It means time decay is what it means, which is not a good thing. ESTS just kind of, we're drifting up, but nothing spectacular. Nike drifting down, but nothing too big here. LRCX looks pretty good. LRCX does look pretty good. This is Lam Research is a semiconductor company and is moving up nicely here today, just about 2%. Volume was pretty good this morning. It's pretty not that great a volume right now on LRCX. I'm just looking to see if I can find anything any other catch to trade, or even intraday trades on with in the monies. But so far, I'm not finding much. Joe says Dr. No and Savvy are going to do a question Q&A live again on Wednesday after market close. That'll be at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Wednesday. That'll give you in the afternoon. That's going into Christmas Eve, so if you want to have something to do in the afternoon, that would be good. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Last one was excellent, so I highly recommend it. Okay, let's see if we got anything going on in the Discord, in the YouTube room over there. Oh, pretty quiet. Again, it's pretty quiet here today. Trading is obviously market's up, but this is nothing dramatic here. Again, the IWM has been outperforming. Pretty hard to take any SPY super systems on this kind of price action right now. You have to be pretty quick. Again, I took a Nike trade today short. I took an STLA trade short. The STLA was an UMCAT on STLA for short, and I made about 30% on it. I also made about 30% or so on my. See, it's not doing anything now. See this drop this morning. This is what I was coming down this morning right here. It had pretty good volume. Now it's just chopping sideways. And Nike was a good one as well for a short. And I also took a trade in ASTS. These are all just quick intraday trades. ASTS was a nice call out in the room, which I took advantage of. So I appreciate that. BMNR, another crypto here. Flat as a pancake. That's GSA, sorry. BMNR right here coming down. Slightly red now. Also MSTR coming in. Just up and down all day. Pretty low probability trade here today. We do have a slight move up in the market. It's drifting up. The market internal has been bullish all day long, but trying to find anything to trade is a little more difficult.
GEV, talk about cautious comments out by RBC following the headlines in regards to the U.S. government halting activity on offshore wind projects. That's GEV, cautious comments out by RBC.
Just not diving into many trades here. I'm looking for some standouts, and it's hard to find anything. See if we have any comments in the current questions in the room. Hey, Shai. Gold's at an all-time high. Thank you. Yep, gold moving up here pretty nicely today. Up about GLD up about 2.3%. Silver up 2 for the day, but not as strong. It's gapped up and moving sideways. Gold has been gapped up and moving up, and some decent volume on it actually. On GLD. GLD trading at 408.42. Newmont Mining also at an all-time high. Thank you, Ari. Yeah, most of the gold-related stocks are doing very well. Newmont also, yeah. Most of this was all gap up this morning. It's just kind of moving sideways right now. GLD also moving sideways. Watching QBTS. Coming right back down here, but it's been pretty strong here today. Up about 20%. A lot of it this morning, but it is still showing some good volume coming through right now. Just kind of looking at potential in the money trade on it or an UMCAT, I'm not sure. There's not an awful lot of going on here in the market. All right, IONS strong today, riding its 8 with good progression. Thank you, IONS. For the biotech. Yeah, moving up the 8, really nice. This is a 5-minute chart on it. It's really nice. Just grinding right up along the 8. Sporadic volume pops every now and then. And I'm trying to break out as actually on IONS. I hesitate to look at the options. Yeah, they only have monthlies, and spreads aren't terrible on them actually. $80 calls by January, 530 by 580. 77.50s, 480 by 720, but there's no volume on any of these options. Trade the stock. Hey, Ruthie, how you doing?
I'm okay, I guess.
What'd the doctor say?
Well, we don't know if it's my hip or my back. If it's my back, it's a narrowing of another vertebrae,
Oh, great.
and he's trying not to have to do anything with it because otherwise it means having to remove, I guess, remove the disc, and then fusing.
Oh,
the
Lord.
spine. So he's trying to avoid that.
Yeah, so aren't we all.
So yeah, so so he gave me an injection in my hip.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I should be, if it's the hip, I should be feeling better by later today.
Mm.
And if it still hurts,
They give you cortisone?
yeah, he gave me a shot of some. And if it still hurts the way it, because when I was laying down, I was hurting my glutes, my ass.
Yeah.
He says, and if you still have pain, that's going to mean and he could give me a shot in. It was
Yeah.
like, you want a shot in the back or you want a shot in the hip?
Yeah.
I said, let's try the
A
hip.
shot in the head.
Yeah, it's just decrepitude.
You didn't want to go through another operation.
Not really.
That's horrible. Jesus,
I
no.
don't really want to, but look at this boy.
I know.
He's all pulled up. This is last day before a 2-week break.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, so he was cramming everybody in.
Yeah.
He was running back and forth, back and forth. So, I didn't think it was gonna take me that long. Well, at least we'll find out what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. You might even consider a different doctor the next time.
Straight up, he does everything himself.
Yeah, I know. He does everything himself. All right.
I mean, I've had x-rays of the back x-rays are, great, everything's where it should be.
Yeah.
Something else, you've been busy, huh?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Okay. That's again just kind of watching here. High-end's pulling back again. It's a nice setup, but the option's not so great. I'm liking QBTS, but I'm not touching it right now as it's pulling back a little bit. This is just not a great day for trying to trade anything. I've had 3 wins, and I'm happy with that right now. I am going to look for some more. See if we have any questions. Hey, Shy. Silver has been weaker and choppy all day. Yeah, gold has been a monster since the futures opened, up 90 points. Yeah, nice. GLD still looks pretty good here, and it's still outperforming. But it's pretty. The actual GLD is pretty flat right now. So I don't know whether it's run its course for the day or not, but I'm not going to dive into it right now. Tesla's trying to gain relative strength, Maxim. Trying to again. I would be very cautious with Tesla here. It's back up above that high from last week, the double top, which is 495.28. is almost there right now. It is got relative strength right now. Well, it's basically it's just trading with the market, and it's bounced back up again. But intraday trading is okay, but just be careful going long Tesla for any kind of a swing type after that double top. It's got to prove itself, and it's got to get through there again. Which means it's got to get it past today's high of 498.83. Thoughts on Nike for an intraday short, Sacklin? I already took it short, and I get out, and it's this morning it had some decent volume, and it was coming down. If I look at my TC2000 chart on it, you can see it had nice volume here this morning. A couple of nice pops on it, and volume-wise. But and I took advantage of this price action. I get out, but this is just flat. See how the candles? There's no pink candles anymore. It's just red candles. We're just breaking at it. We're not breaking through compression, and we've got on Nike over here. It's basically just flat as a pancake. Market momentum is weak, very very weak. But I just don't. I'm not going to. I don't have a good enough edge on that trade right now. I don't want sideways trades. They just for an intraday trade because they'll just bleed time decay. So not going to touch it. Coming up on about 12:30. Probably take lunch here in about 10 minutes. I haven't done much today. I mean, I made three trades today. STLA was an UMCAT trade for about 30%. Nike was a regular in the money trade. ASTS was a regular in the money trade. Both of those worked out pretty nicely. Uh, ASTS, I made a dollar contract on Nike. I made about 20% on that one. That's all so far. Just kind of sitting on my wallet right now while the market just kind of chops around. All right, let me look for some additional trades here, but I don't know that I'm going to find anything. Market internal is still bullish, by the way. Moderna is still moving up here. Right at resistance 35.64. It's just about 35.72. Just hit resistance on Moderna. Really hard to find anything with any, but the volume's so low today that trying to find something with above average volumes is really, really hard. That's one of the criteria I need for the UMCAT trades. I'm not finding many of those. You know, a lot of that has to do with the market today. Oil stocks coming in.
Members, Democratic lawmakers want Commerce Department to disclose all requests for licenses for NVIDIA to ship H200 AI chips to China.
Giant T2104 still bullish? Yes, it is. Still bullish. Hasn't shifted at all. I mean, it's not going up sharply, but it's going up. It's been going up all day long. This morning was the steepness was a little bit longer. Here it is right here. Let's see where it was this morning. The blue line right there moved up, little pulled down, but still moving up here pretty nicely. Still long, still bullish. Market fairly bullish, not a little more choppy, but the T2104 still bullish. This NCLH, I like this NCLH, but its volume's not great, and the option prices are not great. I saw JP Morgan transfer a new all-time high. Thank you. Yeah, most of the banks have been pretty strong today. JPM getting close to that all-time high. Looks like it's around. I think it just made it last week. 322.88, 321.69, about $1.20 away from the all-time high. Kind of grinding up. It gapped up this morning and pretty much hasn't moved up an awful lot since then. Hey, Arisha, you have a question on intraday trades. How strong of support do you think VWAP is if a stock is seeming to do a VWAP test, but SPY is maintaining itself and is not dipped. VWAP is pretty strong support. I mean, it doesn't mean obviously it can be broken, but it's typically good support. But if you're trading it long and it comes down and tests the VWAP, you want to get a confirmation that the VWAP holds, and then when it moves back up again, and you can do that with a Fibonacci candle, you just wait for that bounce to confirm that it's going to continue back up again. In other words, bounce. You take 2 candles off the VWAP. They're very strong. It's very strong, but again, there's not much volume driving anything today, so it doesn't take a lot to move things back and forth. Arm for a short, Maxim. Arm for a short. Yeah, nice setup on ARM right now. Yep, it's pretty much right at support. It's got support at 112.63, a little bit lower than where it is right now, but definitely is a short setup here on ARM, and getting some volume to the downside. I like ARM. Thanks, Maxim. Nice look on that one. Trading at 113. Not cheap options here though. It's only down 69 cents for the day, but it did gap up this morning. Still got support on it at 112.63. So it's still too close to support for me to take, but it's a nice setup on ARM. Plus, I'm going to eat lunch. Arshita, your question on the VWAP, were you talking relative to a specific stock or just generally? No stock of mine, just a general question, yeah. And again, a lot of it depends on, if you have to kind of judge the price action of what that stock's been doing. His arm with a little bounce, yeah, arm's too close to support level for me to try to take. 112.63, that's a buck, and that's a pretty small move for ARM. And I'm going to grab some lunch. I'll be back in just a little bit. Let me go ahead and turn down the YouTube, shut off YouTube. Thanks very much, YouTube folks, for being here today. I appreciate it. Be back tomorrow about 11:30. Very slow week this week. Volume's pretty low. Holidays coming up, but we'll be here each day trying to bang out some trades. I did find 3 decent ones this morning for some decent profits, but other than that, I haven't taken much. I'm shying away from swing trades right now for the most part, just because we're going through New Year's and Christmas and New Year's holidays, which means that the trading will be kind of weak during that time. Volume will be low, get a lot of sideways moves, a lot of compression. That drains your time decay out of these options, so unless I can find something really good, I'm not going to touch it. All right, thanks very much for being here today. I appreciate it, and thanks for YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, rightlinetrading.com if you want to join my room or my alert service, or buy the software here, the SPY Super System software. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Trade well.